Welcome to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast, your weekly news roundup of hunting, fishing, trapping, and conservation stories from around the Gem State. Hosted by Fish and Game's Public Information Specialist, Connor J. Lease.
And welcome back, everyone, to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast. It's been a slower week for hunting, fishing, trapping, and conservation stories here in Idaho. This week on the Hook and Bulletin, we'll be talking about summer Chinook salmon seasons, upcoming Trapper Ed course in Salmon, and a cool fishing event coming up in the Magic Valley. But first, here's what to do when you land a record fish. Take the common phrase for optimism, plenty of fish in the seas. Apply it to lakes, reservoirs, streams, and creeks, and lo and behold, you get Idaho. There are indeed plenty of fish swimming around Idaho, and hot on their tail fins, a contingent of die-hard anglers, especially this time of year. Some of those anglers are on a mission to land the biggest fish and maybe get their names in the Idaho Fish and Game record books. Others are just blessed by lady luck. There are few experiences as thrilling as hauling up a gigantic gilled monster from the watery depths. And the arenas are all around us: lakes, reservoirs, rivers, even community ponds. Idaho is known for producing big fish, and Fish and Game's record fish record books provide an up-to-date account where anglers can submit a potential record catch and see where their predecessors have hauled up some scale-tipping lunkers in the past. Speaking of, if you want to take a trip down memory lane and check out 2022 and 2023's biggest fish stories, hit the links in the description. As you probably could have guessed, catch and release records are taken and then the fish is released back to where it came from. Certified weight records are scored the traditional way, on a certified weight scale. That said, there are a few important ground rules that go along with each program. For starters, only fish caught in publicly accessible waters with legal fishing methods during an open season are eligible for state records. All applicants must have a valid Idaho fishing license at the time the fish was caught. No records will be awarded for fish caught during salvage seasons or at private pay-to-fish facilities. And no records will be awarded for fish caught with nets or traps either. For more information on how to submit record fish and maybe get your name in the record books, hit the link in the description or check out my story on Fish and Game's homepage. Next up, it's summer Chinook season. The Idaho Fish and Game Commission met via conference call and approved the summer Chinook salmon seasons for the Upper Salmon and Lochsaw rivers. The seasons will open on Thursday, June 20th, and remain open 4 days per week, Thursday through Sunday on the Upper Salmon River, and 7 days per week on the Lochsaw River, until harvest goals are achieved, or August 10th, whichever comes first. Important to note, there will not be a summer salmon fishing season on the South Fork Salmon River this year due to low returns. Based on estimates of fish crossing the Lower Columbia and Snake River dams, estimates of adult Chinook salmon available for sport angler harvest are about 260 Chinook for the Upper Salmon River and about 200 Chinook for the Lochsaw River. Fishing on the Upper Salmon River will be open from the posted boundary approximately 100 yards upstream of the mouth of Valley Creek, upstream to the posted boundary approximately 100 yards downstream from the Idaho Fish and Game Sawtooth Hatchery Weir and Trap. This fishery will only be open 4 days per week, Thursday through Sunday. Fishing on the Lochsaw River will be open from Lowell Bridge upstream to Twin Bridges immediately upstream from the confluence of Crooked Fork and Colt-Killed Creeks. This fishery will be open 7 days per week, and both adipose clipped and adipose intact fish may be retained. Bag limits and possession limits for the Upper Salmon and Lochsaw rivers are 4 Chinook daily, of which only 2 may be adults, 24 inches or longer. Possession is 12, only 6 of which may be adults, and no person may take more than 10 adult Chinook salmon statewide during the 2024 salmon seasons, occurring prior to August 10th. For more information, go check out Idaho Fish and Game's Chinook fishing webpage. All right, we're heading up to the Wood River Valley for this next one. black bear sow with 2 cubs has been getting access to unsecured residential garbage in the Greenhorn Gulch area in the Wood River Valley, causing concerns about them quickly becoming food conditioned. This story was first reported on Saturday, June 15th, when a local homeowner reported seeing bears hanging around his house on his security cameras. While at the home, the sow and her 2 cubs gained access to an unsecured garbage cart in the driveway of their home. Fish and Game officers investigated and found signs of the bears around the home with a large amount of residential garbage, some of which had been eaten on by the bears. Fish and Game went door to door through the neighborhood to provide safety information and to ask homeowners to secure their garbage in their garages until the morning of pickup. To help prevent black bears from becoming food conditioned anywhere in the Wood River Valley, it is the responsibility of every resident to secure their garbage in a garage or a locked shed. Fish and Game will continue to monitor the area in an effort to proactively discourage the bears from remaining around the area's homes, looking for unsecured food sources such as household garbage. While a bear can quickly learn to associate a food reward with a residential garbage can, it is extremely difficult to change that behavior once it is learned. The solution is to never let a black bear discover it in the first place. In the case of the sow and her cubs, the cubs are now learning the negative behavior of a food-conditioned bear. Quote, "It's pretty straightforward," said Conservation Officer Brandon Hurd. Quote, "Keeping residential garbage out of reach of a bear can significantly reduce the chances of a bear becoming food conditioned. We all know the end result when a food conditioned bear becomes a public safety issue. Our goal continues to be keeping bears from becoming habituated to garbage and other attractants at campgrounds, cabins, and residential neighborhoods," end quote. To keep Idaho bears wild, remember these important steps. Keep all household garbage secured in a garage or other enclosed area. Put your garbage cart curbside on the morning of pickup, not the night before. Leftovers or discarded fish or meat bones give off a strong odor and should be stored in your freezer until the day of garbage pickup. Keep attractants like barbecue grills, bird seed, or pet food stored where bears cannot access them. And bird feeders should be taken down May through October, since bears can gain a tremendous number of calories from bird seed. By keeping food away from bears, you, your neighbors, and your pets can stay safe by not creating a food-conditioned bear, which could help save the life of the bear. Additional resources on how to eliminate attractants and keep bears wild can be found at the Wood River Wildlife Smart Communities website. For more information about how to live responsibly in bear country, contact the Magic Valley Regional Office at 208-324-4359 or your local Fish and Game office. Moving on to the Rapid Fire Bulletin. In other Magic Valley news, families and individuals looking for a fun outdoor activity during the months of June and July are encouraged to check out the Idaho Fish and Game Take Me Fishing trailer events scheduled across the valley. No matter the age or experience level, everyone is invited to come down to any or all of these events. When fishing at these trailer events, no fishing license is required by participants who check in at the trailer. Meanwhile, over in Salmon, Idaho Fish and Game will be hosting a trapper education course on Saturday, July 20th. The course will be held from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Fish and Game's regional office. Advanced registration is required and the class size will be limited. To register, go online to Idaho Fish and Game's website or visit the Fish and Game office in Salmon. The cost is going to be $9.75 when registering online or $8 in person. Participants must be at least 9 years of age. The interactive course provides students with hands-on training from experienced trapping instructors. Basic trapping techniques with safety, ethical trapper behavior, and avoiding non-target catches are emphasized throughout the course. Other topics covered include trapping regulations, equipment selection, and maintenance. For more information, contact the Fish and Game office in Salmon at 208-756-2271. And heading back over to the Magic Valley, Fish and Game staff and Lee Family Radio will be hosting Vamos a Pescar, a free fishing event on Saturday, June 22nd at Freedom Park Pond in Burley. The event will run from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Spanish-speaking staff and volunteers will be assisting at the special event, aimed at welcoming and encouraging everyone to the sport of fishing, especially those from our Hispanic community. There will be plenty of staff and volunteers ready to teach fishing basics, from baiting a hook to reeling in stocked rainbow trout. For more information, contact the Magic Valley Regional Office at 208-324-4359. Okay, that's it for this week's stories. It's time for our question of the week. Now, this next question comes to us from the folks over at the MK Nature Center, and it's kind of a pseudo-trivia question. They ask, can you determine a rattlesnake's age based off of how many rattles it has? So the answer to that is actually not true. Rattlesnakes get a new rattle every time they shed, and also rattles can get broken off in their daily lives. Hope that answers your question. That's all the news we have for this week. Thanks for putting an ear to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin. If there's something on your mind, or if you got a question related to Fish and Game matters, feel free to drop us a line at podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Again, that's podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Thank you so much for listening, folks. We'll catch you next week.